Pasha Pavo, thank you for tuning. All right. So, creatives, professionals, as some of y'all prefer, whoever's out there pitching services to business owners, we've all heard this before. I'm good. Everything's fine. I don't need anything. I have no goals and no challenges. So, if that's you, right? Creative professional, creative person offering services. You have a business or a product that you design to help business owners make their business stronger, faster, bigger, and they tell you, "I'm good." Like they're trying to tell you, "We're the best we can ever be," right? And they tell you that they have no goals or challenges, but there's definitely signs that they aren't living life in abundance and their business isn't at capacity full time, right? At the bare minimum. So this is for those who you pitch your services to business owners. Like they said, they claim everything's fine. You see untapped potential in businesses, but maybe you can't get through. They're not hearing what you got to offer them or what have you. You hear things like, "We can't afford that right now," from profitable companies. Uh, there's resistance when presenting your growth opportunities, and or you just want to better understand client psychology so you can serve them better. This is going to help you out in this video. So let's get to it. Like, trust me, you can talk to someone about the pains and the struggles, and you can hear them out completely. You can take notes. You can have helped other people with this same situation before, and you say to them, "All right, well, I can help you with that. About $4,000. You can shake hands on it, and they'll spend the next 2 weeks awkwardly avoiding you. Every time you cross paths in an office building in town or at the local gym or something." So now you're thinking, like, are they lying to everyone, even about their business? Because it creates a trust issue, right? But before you judge them, let's look at the psychology of what diseases and what disorders they may be suffering from. Okay? Let me get some photos on the screen for you. For those who don't know who I am, I'm Pasha Paro, American brand evoker and critical solutions expert. Get at me if you need a variety of things, but let's talk more about the video today. Let me get the photo up here for you. I hope everybody's having, for those who have weekends, I hope you're having a great weekend. And for the rest of us, let's continue. So, not only do I produce psychology infused logos, branding, and marketing, I'm also, or as a brand evoker, I also have a background as a green belt, which is why I translated into critical solutions expert. All right. But what I'm best at, I'm one of the best at green belt. And I know that sounds crazy, but this is why I was given the opportunity without a degree, not because everybody in my training program at 3M, like internally, they were already engineering. They had engineering degrees. I was the only one that didn't have an engineering degree. And then to bring home more, I was the only one in the plant that I worked at who was a non-production worker who didn't have a degree. So I speak from experience. I speak from the heart. I speak from going into these companies, kicking down doors that has never been open to people like me and you before, to show that we can do this, and not only can we do it, but we can be better than the people that have the paperwork or the degrees, have the manufacturer certificate of origins that say they got a particular IP uploaded into them, and we do the damn thing. And I used to have antenna, or what y'all might call dreadlocks or locks, you know, all the way down my back, 10 years of growth in my hair. So I had a full beard and an antenna, and I would go to work with sweatpants on and increase the plant production by 15%, chilling. So I really don't understand why people have these judgments, or when you sign on LinkedIn and stuff, they judging you, and you know what I mean, because they don't know you. But that's part of the reason why they feel like you can't help them. It's because they don't know you. And they don't know you because they haven't taken the time to realize they don't even know themselves. So they don't know their own problems and issues. And that's why when you tell them you can help them, they're like, I'm good, because they believe they're number one, when we won't comment on that. But so the 34 Wonderlic score is what gets me in that position in corporate America. They'll say, oh shit, you got a 34 Wonderlic score? That's top 2%. Man, look, take this test. What we got, as long as you can pass this test, fuck it. We don't care you don't have an engineering degree. We're gonna give you the keys to the whole plant. We make about $40 million a year profit right now. We're gonna give you control of the $40 million profit per year machine and let you do your damn thing with no degree and no maintenance experience. You're gonna run our maintenance department and you're gonna help us, and you do that shit. And by the time you leave, they're making $55-60 million a year. And you were even the vice chairman of maintenance and reliability chapter for 3M Global, on calls with Singapore, calling the plant back in your hometown, Delaware, diagnosing shit over the cell phone. And why I bring that up is because it gets on my fucking nerves when I talk to the business owner around the corner who, because I might have had a beard, came in with a jeans with a coffee stain on my shirt, they feel like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And it's not so much that they're judging me, it's that, and I know you guys feel the same way being a creative, they're blocking our community from being better than what it can be. Because I went to these companies who invested $10 billion in knowledge, so I could learn everything I could from there. Give me every book you got, give me access to every SharePoint, give me all. I'm gonna sit here and read it while everybody else is goofing off in the break room, right? I'm studying because this is worth billions. I'm gonna take this shit home, I'm gonna build my world, right? Because it wasn't about let me clock in and go home to some chick that tells you they like you and they're gonna be divorcing your ass in 6 or 7 years, and all you wanted to do was ride around in a new BMW so that you could look cool. No, I'm here to get the knowledge because I need to build the world that appreciates us creatives, because right now they don't give a fuck about us until they realize they have a serious problem, which by then it's too late. We could have helped them 10 years ago. They were too busy laughing at us, calling us retarded, talking about how uncool, whatever the fuck it is, because they believe in magic. They're buying, they paid $10,000 to get coaching on how to tie their shoelaces. And then when we come in and tell them this is how you make $1 million company out of your little $400,000 a decade situation you got there, they want to tell us we don't know what we're doing. They want to ask us, what degree do you have? What school did you go to? Fuck all that bullshit. Look, I've been doing this, all right? You want the fucking help or not? Because in reality, it's not about you. It's about building up our community, because that's why everything's fucking in China right now. And you're talking about the price of bread is too high because you're good, remember? You didn't want to grow your business for the last 10 years. You were cool with the little $60,000, $70,000 you're making after expenses, right? But now you're still making that same amount and you're starting to feel the pinch like everybody else. Now you want to, then you want to start complaining, but it's too late then. All right. So here's why we got to have this video. Okay. Because we got too many people like that in the world that we're dealing with, and we have the answers and they don't seem to know what the value is for the world. They're too busy thinking about if they give you $15,000, how much bills is that going to pay for you as a creative versus wow, I can get this person 15,000, I can make 200,000 more dollars next year. Or talking to this person for 30 minutes made me realize I'm looking to get not 8,000 a year from a client, and talking to them helps me realize I'm worth 8,000 an hour when put in the right position. Then what do? They want to be cheap, right? So they try to act like they don't know you, run out there, try to do it themselves. They only make $100 more, and they say, "Oh, this doesn't work. Pasha doesn't know what he's talking about," because they heard the what, ran out there, try to do it, but we spent 30 years learning the how. So they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and then they look at you because they didn't want to invest in you to help themselves. And again, our community suffers because people can't connect with value. They only connect with emotion, which is why you see me which is why you see me depleting my following on LinkedIn right now, getting rid of all the emotional people so we can get to the real people who want to do some shit. All right. So we go into these corporations, we get the information like a spy mission, and we come back out and we say we're ready to help, like Robin Hood, but without the tights, right? We got on baggy clothes, we got on beards, and everything opposite of the politician. Why they get elected. We don't got the suit on. We got their favorite comfy hoodie on. Like people like to sit up there and watch TV with their blankets. We throw our hoodies on and sit at our desk and we produce shit with our headphones on. That's what we do. All right. And we're fucking saving the world. And that's why I made this video exclusively for people like us, because you'll be able to understand and relate. So you do all this and you come home to your community and you say, I have the power. You know what I mean? And they're like, shut the fuck up. Like on Coming to America. And he's like, yes, fuck you too, right? So that's like what's going on with us right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's a gift and a curse, because you say you can help the community, but they're telling you they're good because they don't know who they're talking to. They want to call you arrogant, but Toyota, DuPont, and Lockheed Martin call it experience, right? Because see, Lockheed Martin used people like us, green belts, to achieve 46.9% reduction in scrap and rework costs, right? Cooper Vision, a manufacturer of soft contact lenses, achieved a 75% improvement in productivity and a 70% reduction in quality defects by employing people like me and you. Toyota took people like me and you and created a system to improve its supply chain management process, increasing efficiency by 20%. But when we come to these people, because they have a suit on and their business, the electric bill's paid, they feel like they don't need you. But BMW says, hey, they use us to streamline its production processes, resulting in 30% reduction in production time. See, you can tell the people who didn't realize they need you because they're the ones talking about how little time they have. They can't schedule a meeting with you because they don't have time. They can't talk to you about things beyond things because they don't have time. Well, that tells you that their processes could probably use improvement. They may need a better website. They may need marketing and branding so that they're not spending 80% of their time qualifying leads that should have never been considered leads. But no, they're good. They don't need us creatives. right? I mean, because technically, isn't your legal team a creative? So these are multi-million dollar companies that we're mentioning earlier who got there by what we call continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. And in continuously improving, look to become even more sustainable. So when I talk to you and no, you're not good. You are scared and you're afraid. You have a disease or disorder that you either don't know about or you don't know what to do about, and you're scared to talk about it. So creatives and marketers, take that to heart first. We have to act like medical professionals, right? And you know, those that know me know I don't like the word profession. If you call yourself professional, it's cool. I'm gonna show up just like this. And I'm kicking my shoes off the first opportunity. Don't worry. I keep some foot powder with me. We'll get through this. So what happens is you're not okay. And we need to, they're not okay. They're afraid to admit they're not okay. Just like, you know, some of our grandparents or even our parents or even us, we don't want to go to the doctor, right? You might think something's wrong. You might know something's wrong. But the last thing you want to do is go to the doctor. Even if it's just trying to avoid taking a day off to go do it. Right? So there's barriers there that is hindering their willingness to pursue growth and additional marketing efforts. We got to understand, creatives and marketers, that it's our job to encourage them to do it because that's what the community needs to survive. All right? That's what the community needs to survive. I've been looking at it like this for a long time, so I want to help reinforce this view with you. We're not doing this to get rich. Okay? I mean, yes, we want to get the big deals, but what's big to you? Is a big deal $500? Is a big deal $5,000 to you? Or are you like me and you know Pepsi paid $1.2 million for their logo? Are you like me and you know that Seagate paid over $1 million for a logo that actually makes them lose 7.1% annual revenue year over year for the last 10 years? So what's a big deal to you? $1 million or 1,000? Because we can build a portfolio to get to those type of deals by helping the people that need our help right now in the same way that we would with the big deals. And the reason that's a big deal is because it puts our community, it puts sustainability into our community. We are responsible for sustainability. That's why you see me ripping y'all so much. Because y'all, not some of y'all, and then the businesses that we're supposed to support, they think it's a fucking game. They think it's a joke. They don't know that having a trash ass logo is not just meaning that you don't make as much. It means that our community isn't as strong together. Your neighborhood is that much weaker than the one next to it. And if your neighborhood is weak to the one next to it, then the law of averages say that that area is weaker than it could be. And if your area is weaker than it could be, then Now you got a different type of east side, west side, north side, south side situation going on. And then eventually, if your whole city is weaker than it could be, now you understand why the money's going out west or why it's going to South America, because y'all asses think it's a game. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. And if you don't like what I'm saying, y'all gonna have to kill me, because we're gonna make a difference. If I gotta do it myself, all right? Which is why you see me by myself. Okay? Yeah, I got y'all. A lot of people, y'all think y'all got a bad day when y'all lose a follower. Try being on the watch list of industry leaders, government officials. Like, y'all ain't got no problems. Y'all ain't got no real problems. Y'all just got emotional shit, man. Okay? 98% of the population don't want to see me give you this video. So they making phone calls to LinkedIn ownership. Hey, can you like tune down Pasha's behind the scenes? He's getting active on there. He hasn't been on there. He just took it serious. Started taking it serious 4 months ago. We got a problem. He's fucking everything up in the industry. He's disruptive. But then they come and tell you that disruptive is what they want you to be. But not that one. Don't let him be disruptive. You know what I mean? Oh, we want to get him off this platform. Right? Because they don't want y'all to have the truth. Okay, so y'all don't have a bad day compared to some people. All right? And those that are anywhere remotely near the experiences I've had in life know what I'm talking about. Okay, we got to work 10 times as much to do what y'all do, because y'all are accepted in society. So we gotta get over barriers to get y'all to get over barriers. It's like we gotta break into the jail to break you out of the jail cell that you into. That's what we gotta do, creatives and marketers. We're mission impossible every fucking day. These people are oblivious sometimes and they have no clue. Some of them do. And I really appreciate working with the ones who do, because it makes the process so much better and we get far greater results. And I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing. Okay? But we still need to reach the rest of the herd, because we need to reach critical mass, which is going to include some of those stragglers that are on the fence and or at this moment feel like they don't want to go. Okay? But it's okay, because we've all been there before where we said we didn't want to go somewhere or do something, and then we found out once we did it or went that we really enjoyed ourselves, and we're glad that we had that experience. So we've been there before, we understand it, but here's what's going on with them so that we don't judge them incorrectly. Because remember, we got to play doctor, right? We got to look at it and help them, because they don't know how to help themselves. And that's what makes us the experts, okay? So appreciate and set for value your expertise. I ain't gonna say number one, but no particular order, we got resource limitations. Their error is they telling us I'm good because they're afraid to tell you I'm broke, because they on LinkedIn posing with the, you know what I mean, and saying all these stuff and telling you that they good, because they can't be, they don't know how to be truthful first. So that's problem number one. If you were honest with everybody and be truthful, then we will all be able to know what the deal is. And a lot more people will realize a lot more people are going through shit, which is why the Pantone color of the year is Mocha Mousse looking like a turd. Because we're all going through shit right now as a collective community. And it's going to take all of us together to get through this shit. Like, people know I'm going through shit. Fuck it. They know I went to war with the international security company Securitas by myself. I lost, but I win 80% of my battles. But yeah, they fucked me up. They sabotage. I ain't gonna say they did. Somewhere around the time period all that was happening, my car got sabotaged. My little 2014 E350 coupe that I could go 130 miles an hour everywhere I was going to in comfortably, because I like the speed. All of a sudden, didn't want to work. $12,500. We might find out what it is going on in Piston 4 situation. Yeah, this is what happened when you take on the world by yourself, but I'm okay. I'm built for it. Yeah, they terminated me. I was trying to build up capital after I started a business in the middle of COVID after walking away from a gravy position. Yeah, they know why I'm in a fucked up position. But I've been on the same mission for the last 20 years. So it don't bother me. I can tell you I'm in a fucked up position. There's ups and downs in every growth. Every billionaire I studied said that some of them were homeless. Some of them were cold calling. But then they telling you spamming them if you send them something in the email or in their text message or in the inbox DM, now you're a spammer. But when you talk to the billionaires who actually did it, right? They telling you, yeah, we cold call. We call 200 calls a day. Well, by that ignorant person, they would be considered a spammer. You see what I'm saying? Like, the dumb shit is who you talking to about what makes a difference. This is why I keep calling stuff gaslighting. Like, okay, cool. Don't gaslight me. Don't let them fuck up your energy. If you got to make 300 calls a day to find that one person to make sure you can do a project, then that's what you got to do. Don't let that emotional shit get in between you and helping to change and build America, or whatever the part of the world you're listening to me from. Because I realize I got people from Dubai, Pakistan, India, Singapore. I appreciate all of y'all. All right. So the first thing is resource limitations. Because they can't be honest enough with themselves, they can't be honest enough with you to just say, look, we're broke right now. We're struggling to maintain, and that's why it sounds good, but I can't do it. Because then once they be honest with you, wow, then we can attempt to actually optimize the financial issues instead of you being stagnant still, or find you a tributary to infuse capital into your business or brand, so that then we can exercise what needs to be done for you for growth. But you're stuck because you can't talk. So we as creatives and marketers have to understand that. Because a lot of y'all, when I speak to you, it gets to you after a while, and you start to feel like you're not good enough. It's not you, it's your network. If you're surrounded by people who only want to give you $150 to do a 4-week project, you'll never make it in life. And this is why I hang on and always give y'all the Simon Sinek quote. The closer you get to where you see yourself going in life, the more the people around you become what you expect. You're on a journey, team. And sometimes you're on that path all alone. But just know where you're going, because there's people there that appreciate you and are just like you. And if you let anybody stop you and tell you that you belong somewhere else before you get there, then you're only robbing yourself from the joy that awaits you. So another thing, now that we got the resource limitation, is risk aversion, right? Because growth inherently takes risk, such as entertaining new markets, or investing in new technologies or just trusting in a new idea. Okay. So, what they're dealing with is they have a fear of potential failure or an uncertainty itself. It's for you to assess if the person that you're talking to is competent and capable enough, then dive down the conversation to help them realize, look, I see what's going on with you. It's okay. You feel alone on this journey because you haven't talked to realize that you're not on this path by yourself. In reality, there's tens of thousands of people just like you. Just like you. And they're all waiting for the same reason that you're waiting for. So what we got to do is we got to let you know it's popular in feminine energy, right? To feel some type of way when you appear to be unseen, unheard, it makes you feel unsafe. I forget it was a person, I forget the name. I'm not, you know me, I'm not gonna take credit for stuff that's not mine, but I really appreciate that from their little meeting or workshop they had or whatever it was called, you want to call it seminar or whatever. And that's the one thing they call it the 3 U's. And I took from that and I hang on to because it told me something that I knew, but it gave me a language that made it easier to say it to you, right? Unseen, unheard, and unsafe. So what happens is, and it's feminine energy. I mean, I don't want to say it's necessarily weaker than masculine because I don't want the women to be like, oh, he's sexist or something. But what I mean is that it's feminine energy. So when they get so think about it like this. People that aren't familiar with the truth, which you heard me say this in this fashion before, when they aren't familiar with the truth and they're telling you their emotional bullshit or they're trying to gaslight you, they're either doing that through negligence or maybe it's intentional, right? But a lot of people are actually doing it through negligence. And when that's the case, they don't know what they don't know. So what happens is you know something that they don't know. And let's say you respond to it with information that you know that they need. What happens is they feel like you're not seeing them. You're not hearing me. Because they're expecting you to adapt to, or not adapt, to absorb their emotions. And they're looking for, everybody else pacified them. Everybody else said, oh, it's gonna be okay, little business owner, just hang in there and right? And they were like, burp, right? And they're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you were like, cool, guys, all right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into action. We have a mission. This is what it is. Yes, I like these challenges. I need you to do this, get in that, get your people together, get in order like this. Let's go. You got a budget. We're gonna do this and blah, blah, blah. Let's start today. And they're like, wait, I didn't get the burp. I didn't feel a hug. Where's the love? You're so mean, right? And it's because they're not used to talking to a motherfucker that know what to do. I remember that's what it is. So understand that first of all. Okay? So then instead, they feel unseen and unheard. Because instead of you burping them and pacifying them, giving them a pacifier, you gave them directions to arrive at a destination. And then they were like, oh shit, this feels different. It's hard. It's cold. I don't like this feeling of accomplishment potential. And that made them feel unsafe. Because this was so comforting. you said, let's go to war. Oh, get the guns, get the ammunition, get the bulletproof vest. We're going in. And they're like, wait, no, I don't want to go in. I want to. Right? That's what happened. Now they feel unsafe. So it appears to be they're scared of you. But in reality, they're scared of how you make them feel, because you make them feel like, let's do something about it instead of just sitting here talking shit and crying all the time. Let's do something. And they're like, yeah, but wait, no, that means I gotta do something. I've never done nothing before. I'm like, right? This is what happens to them. Okay, so understand what's going on so that you don't feel any type of way and you don't judge them or criticize. Now, if they attack you, they want to give you some attacking, gaslighting bullshit, trying to attack your emotions or your intellect, and then fire away. But if they're really just sitting there with these, telling you this stuff, then nurture them, plant the seeds, help them grow. Because another thing that they're dealing with that they got to wonder about is what we call operational readiness, right? Some small businesses may not have the necessary infrastructure, systems in place, or skilled labor to support expansion. But they didn't tell you that. They're going to tell you, I'm good, when they're not. You're not fucking good. You're not fucking good because you're sitting in a community that has, your neighborhood has 45 people that could be working for you right now that you can't hire. Right? So you're not good. Because if you were that good, your whole community would be working for you. And then you could build a wall around it and put a castle in the middle and call it your neighborhood. And y'all be producing product X. And the whole world will be demanding your services. And you will be building an empire. But you're not. You're mad that your car insurance went up. Geico won't insure you. And you should call me so I can refer you to my guy at State Farms if you're in North or South Carolina. Right? So let's talk about raising your prices. Like we mentioned earlier, if you're working for 4 weeks on a $150 budget, then obviously either your product isn't that good, or you're dealing with people who don't value your product and something needs to change, but as the business owner, you're afraid to change. It's our job to communicate that to them, creatives and marketers, because they don't know any better. Remember, they've been doing things the same way sometimes for 20 years. And the first thing I tell those people that say that or anything like that is 20 years ago, we couldn't send a picture through the cell phone. So chances are there's a much better way to do what you're doing right now. The whole thing revolves around resistance to change. Business owners may be content with the current level of success and may not see the need to change and grow. Right? Especially if they're not interested in building a larger enterprise. Or, but these are the same people that have some sort of complaint. Maybe the government is too big to them, or they don't like what's going on over here with, the border or whatever. Everybody's got something that they're complaining about. But if you were really good, you would be out there big enough to go be the change you want to see in the world. So nobody has complaints. Nobody has no complaints. You just gave up on yourself. So the people that are like, oh, the government's too big and they're taking all our tax money and they're doing this, and why they sending $30 billion to Ukraine and not helping the people here. This is why I put out the video that says, look, if you grow your business, you can replace the government in your area. If you have a business that chances are at the top of that totem pole, there's a government agency or a government-owned business that says that they run the entire industry, and they set these standards, and they tell you this, and you got to buy in or pay this and get licensed and be a part of them, be underneath of them, like multi-level marketing. So if you grow big enough, you can be the EPA in your area. If you grow big enough, you can replace the need for the people of your community to have to go to a government for a service or a product. That means that the government cash flow slows down, not because you're actually attacking the government as some evil entity, but because you're competing for the market share in a particular industry. Oh, but no, you're good, remember? That's why you're not good. As soon as you complain, just smack the shit out. Remember you said you was good? Now, I'm glad you said that, because this is why you need to grow. Now get over here and let me do something creative for you or market your shit. That's how we need to approach this. Okay? Because they don't realize, from our perspective, how dumb they sound. But it's okay, because collectively we don't know what we don't know. The only thing that makes them dumb is that they're not admitting that they don't know what they don't know. They're telling you everything but the truth because they're lying to themselves. Okay, so get that straight. That's the part that makes them dumb. And I don't care how much money is in your bank account. I don't care what kind of network you got. If you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, that is me, then you ain't it. All right? So, cash flow concerns, growth often requires upfront investments. We know this. And this is where, if you're upfront, maybe there's a possibility to negotiate. Maybe there's some things that could be strategized, leveraged, and the project can still get done. The change can still occur. But if you're just so busy saying that you're done, you're good, saying something's wrong with the creative or the marketer for offering you the opportunity. First of all, let me address this. Oh man. Look, y'all. My lip chapped. I don't care. I put this video together. I should have went and got some drink of water. But I wanted to get this to you as soon as possible. Okay? So what I've learned from these platforms for networking, and it's really in a sense, it's I don't have the proper language on the top of my head. It's a form of insanity, but I would say there's a small percentage of people who actually do this properly, and the rest of them are just bullshit fakes. And that's the concept of, because remember, if you send them a message or you say something about your business or brand, now you're spammy. Oh, now you're trying to sell them something. You're trying to pitch them. And I look at it like this. When I say I want to learn more about you, let me just speak for myself. And you own a business or not, you're part of a job, a company, you're an employee on your volunteer slavery, then I absolutely want to know what the fuck you do. Like, how am I going to learn about you and you not tell me what it is you do? Like, this is the hypocritical oath here of these platforms. Because to the ignorant mind, if we meet and we could be talking, let's say we're into this video a good ways, and let's say you bring up, oh, by the way, I do this, and you said you need, or they said something, you're like, oh man, look, no problem, I can help you with that because I do this and I help so and so with that. Look, man, let me tell you what this is, this thing. It'll only be about X amount of dollars. Just let me know when you're ready. Now all of a sudden, you're wrong for offering someone help, which is what the WTF, right? And you know me, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell you what it is, but behind the scenes, they're like, oh yeah, and we were talking, and do you believe he pitched me when I told him my business was, I didn't say it like this, but I was telling him that my business was failing because of ABC and D. And do you know he pitched me to help me? I mean, who does that? Who just meets somebody and offers to help them? My God, he must be desperate. Like, no, motherfucker, you the desperate one. I saw the desperation in you. Let's try to help your ass. Right? That's how I be, right? Create. I know you know what I'm talking about. If you're a marketer or creator, we try to help them. So they're up there talking about, oh, he pitched me. Or how do you offer somebody something? The same way McDonald's says 2 billion served on the side of the road. They didn't take a survey of who was driving down I-85 and say, oh, you have to meet these qualifications before you can look at our billboard. They said, no, we're going to tell you what we do. And if you want it, walk in the door. Like, this is the most retarded time period I've ever lived in. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This is the most retarded time period I've ever lived in. And you could take that to the people that think we've lived multiple lives and been on this planet on multiple reincarnations. What, you take all of that into consideration. This is the most retarded time period. I'd be so filled with joy when I meet someone that I can truly connect with. Because the equivalent of that shit is you on the side of the road with a flat tire. And you're a frail woman. And it's not on no, hey, Captain Saberho. It's on, you know what? Someone in our community needs help. This is in our neighborhood. Okay, it's not a setup. It's not like somebody baiting you to come out there and get robbed. It's a legit person that needs help. There's 2 little babies in the car seat. And damn, she just needed a tire change. It's gonna take me 6 minutes. That's what you look like to us. Or that's what they look like to us. But they too busy wanting to talk shit about us for wanting to help them. I don't know. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments below. But let me get back to this here. I got distracted with that because that, like I said, man, it's we got to be the doctors of the world, y'all. All right. So that comes into the lack of marketing knowledge. All right. Many small business owners are not well versed in modern marketing options or techniques. Right. So they wind up going to Chris Do and they wind up spending 175 times more than what they need to spend. And then they get a logo that only does 12% of what a logo could have done for them. Because they don't know anything. They go to the brand name. They go to the most popular person and don't realize. It's like if you go on my LinkedIn page, we had a whole breakdown of Steve Bartlett's LinkedIn engagement. And we find that you're fascinated, most people are fascinated by 3 million followers, which is actually 2.6. But then you find out the person sitting right next to you has the same engagement rate. So what makes them more valuable? He's only getting 0.08% of his total followers. Actually, that was the best post that he had in the last month. And that's not even to say that the people that engaged were actually followers. They might have just been random people that, because of the status or maybe he's paying for engagement, that the algorithm sent that post involved. But let's put it to the max. Let's say everybody that engaged with that post was a follower of his. You got 2.6 million and only 20,000 people heart click the button on it. You see 26,000, you think, oh my God, this guy is great. But in reality, it's 0.8%. And if you look at your post, you might have 0.5, like I did on a random post that we pulled just on the one that we were talking about it on. So they're not better than you. But the ignorant person is going to go give them the money, give them the fiat currency. They're going to fuck up the community even more because they don't know what they're doing. Then they don't get trained on what to do with it. So then they go out there and don't know what to do. So now they don't spend the money with the wrong people, got a logo that can't help them, or a website that ain't working for them. And then the community continues to suffer. And then the fiat currency left the community and went to another community who gonna go buy a Louis bag with it instead of building a city. You see the disease? You see the disorder? And you know who at risk? Your kids. Because if there ain't no more small businesses when they get older and the government runs everything, guess who now is, guess what? See, I'm fighting for a nation. Y'all fighting for a Louis bag. Who you think gonna win that battle? I don't care how trained you are and wherever you come from. I'm fighting for a nation. I know people that will die for their nation. I don't know too many people that's gonna die for a Louis bag. So instead of doing the best for your family, these people are bowing to fear of the unknown. They're bowing to the loss of control because they're scared that if they change something that they won't be the ones dominating in their business any longer, that it won't be them. They're bowing to habits and comfort. They're bowing to trust issues. See, they are bowing to trust issues. That's why they don't understand me when I say, oh, I gotta get rid of that trust issue. See, they're bowing to identity and self-worth complexes. They're worried about their status too much. And they're letting emotions run the show. So as a green belt, which is part of the added value of working with Pasha, let's say on your logo, your branding, your marketing, is I got green belt experience. You know, like the last project I led for 3M realized $750,000 increased annual sales potential, one-time investment $80K. That means for the money, the fiat currency you might have put down for your new G-Wagon, I might have been able to put your brand in a situation where you're making $750,000 more every year. But you wanted people to feel like you were doing, actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna say it like that. You just use the resources for something else. That's all. You got a G-Wagon. You're gonna never go off road in it, and in 2 years, you're gonna be wondering, just like the rest of us after a car purchase, I really like it, but I mean, damn, was it worth it? I gotta keep putting this gas in here every day. You know what I mean? Damn. I gotta keep paying this insurance. Damn. Damn, these tires. I thought I just put new tires on this month. Damn. So now, yeah, it feels good for a minute, but it costs a lot to maintain that feeling. You know what I mean? Like I said, I threw my Benz away. I was like, okay, 12. You want what? 12,000? And we still won't know if that's the problem until we do it. Nah, that's good. I budget for $2,000 to $3,000 annually for car repairs. Nope, I'm good. Yeah, I know the warranty would only be $6 out of pocket, but I'm not doing that because we don't even know that's gonna fix it. And then what happens next month? Nah, I'm gonna keep my little. I throw away a Benz. It ain't nothing to me. Let me work a little harder. Go get the Maybach or the Bentley. Let's have some more problems, some bigger problems, or come back and get the Toyota, or just don't get a car at all. Let me focus and get to the point where I have a driver. You know, let's take it up a notch, and instead of having worried about having car problems, let's have not jet problems where we crash, but let's get jet bills to maintain that type of travel expense, because we're doing that level of work now because we stopped focused on a car and we put it all into our business and our brand, every moment, every thought, every dollar, and now we got a jet outside. Let's play Grand Theft Auto for real. I know y'all know what Grand Theft Auto is. I wake up sometime, I'll be like, damn, it's like Grand Theft Auto. I'm up in the office and shit. We got to, you know what I'm saying? All right. So as a green belt, my responsibilities were, in addition to running the maintenance department from the planner scheduler position, we're going to be leading what they call small to medium improvement projects. So on average, they're talking, $50,000 to $250,000 value projects, like what it'll save the business. And because of the business I was in with being 3M, when I was given the opportunity to do these things, I'm not even gonna say develop the skills, but yeah, they did have the training that they put me in through first. But because the business was what it was, my projects were up, some of them were $1 million projects. Let's just say, you know what I mean? So entitlements literally were coming through. Like I said, the last one was $750,000, only off of $80,000 difference. I mean, it's investment. So we're able to lead that type of change. So if you could take a business in your community and show them how they, instead of buying a G-Wagon, they can make $750,000 more a year forever from now on. That means that 10 years down the road, they would be up $7.5 million that they could invest in their community. But instead, they took the $80,000 and they got 10 years, if they keep it that long, of maintenance, gas, and repair bills on a G-Wagon that's now 10 years old. Pasha, you just said you had a 2014 E350 coupe, right? What makes you different? You know what? Good question. I don't knock people for enjoying their whatever. My 2014 E350 coupe, I caught it for $17,500. First of all, Secondly, I only put down 3,000. And third, my car payment was $330 a month. And I would go to the office when I was at 3M. My office, I had an office at the plant. And then maybe the person sitting next to me in the next office had a Lexus, and they're paying $700 a month for it. So I don't knock people for what they want, but for me, I remember being a young person with a 99 Sebring coupe and was paying $300 a month. Like I think if you got one of those comfortable, complacent jobs, I personally think 300 is a decent car payment. Because if I go grab a rent a car, it might cost 300 for the week or the weekend, depending on what you get, right? So my mathematical skills, even if I don't boast about being a 34 Wonderlic score, I think my mathematical skills says that 300 a month is like $10 a day for a car. If I go out here on the block on Tryon, they got scooters that they're charging like, I think $30 an hour for. I don't know what the number is. So, I mean, you do the math. All right. I like to go personally as fast as possible. I want to eventually have something that go over 200 miles an hour because I want to go 200 miles an hour down I-85. Gosh, the cops are listening. Yeah, they can listen, but can they catch me? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the point of the matter is, do what you want. Live your life. All I'm saying to you is, if you buy a car for $80,000 to write it off on your taxes for your business, because you have $80,000 up front and you buy it like that, just know that could have been $7.5 million 10 years from now. There's very few things you can say that $300 a month, even if you count the down payment, $3,300 will make you 7.5 million. You know what I mean? It's a little different. All right. But I'm not knocking the people who bought a G-Wagon. I'm just saying. So now, as a green belt, data collection and analysis. See? So we sit on the internet and I'm observing people. I'm learning. I'm like the little robot on Short Circuit. Input, need more input. I'm Data off Star Trek. And I run everything through the equation. That's why I say it's truth. People focus on variables and then we focus on the equation. That's why we're true and they're variabilistic. They're right, but they're not always true. So we're able to look at the data and analyze it. And this is why when I say, I was in the advanced gifted program studying Greek mythology and analogies, all of that's analysts, not the Greek mythology part, but the analogies means that I've been studying how to analyze stuff since the 3rd grade. Excuse me. So what comes naturally for me decades later is why you hear me say something and I don't care that you heard me say it, because you can't produce it. You can't produce the results that I can give you because you don't know how. It's that simple. Like I said earlier, you heard the what, but they don't know the how. So what we got to understand, creatives, this is where your value comes into play. Because if you're making a website, it's nothing that you're going to do that they can't look up online and see the process of. This is what needs to be done to make a website. The difference is only you can do it the way that you do it. And this is why Picasso and Da Vinci and all these guys really weren't truly valued until after death. You gotta look at yourself as an artist, not just a website builder. It's an art. It's alchemy. You're a scientist. And once you embrace that, now you demand a premium. So, as a green belt, I had to facilitate team discussions. This is why I be like, this is why when you recognize people that don't know your value, cut them off. Cut them off. If they don't recognize your value, cut them the fuck off, because they're ruining your average value. If everything's energy and your biosphere around you is only humming or vibrating or resonating at 30% because they only believe that you're 30% of the value you are, then that's going to be the resonant energy you have. And through osmosis, it's gonna force you to come down to 30% from where you're at, or towards that, by the law of averages. So if you have all these values and you bring a guest on or on your podcast or your talk show or whatever you got going on, and everybody flocks to them for shit that you've been saying for 10 years, then go through that list of people who jumped ship and cut all the motherfuckers the fuck off. Every last one of them. Because if they didn't respect it or appreciate it when you said it for the last 10 years, but recognize it when this person said it, then they need to go over there, because they're more in tune with that bullshit. And now you have room to replace them with people who are going to at least see you at 60, 70, 80% of your value. And now you can resonate at that frequency collectively. Because you've been facilitating team discussions with people running billion-dollar companies for the last decade, 20 years. But because their small business only does $120,000 or maybe 45 a year, and they're looking at you in a hoodie and a beard, and maybe you had your antenna still, they thinking that you're a bum. It's how they want to see you. Everything you speak to them, they denouncing. But when you go have the same conversation with the experts, y'all speak the same language. So get rid of the bum-minded people who needed to see a suit and a smile and a clean shave and still don't know what the fuck's being said, but feel like they can support that when it comes out of that direction, because they don't know what they're standing for. They'll fall for anything. So implementing process improvements. It doesn't matter what the process is. I'm skilled in the process of enterprise change. And to me, looking at America and or the United States, it's just a bigger process. It's just a bigger company. Don't worry about your reputation, because the only ones that's going to appreciate those who are misrepresenting you are the ones that don't would never get you to begin with. Like I said, to us, it sounds awkward. It sounds like there's something wrong if a person comes to somebody saying, "And do you believe that when I told him I was in trouble, he tried to help me?" Like we be sitting there looking at like that doesn't make sense. That you're looking at it like that. Like you clearly could have used their help. Like what the fuck? So to the people that's in tune with you, it makes them question the people who brought them that bullshit ass information. See, this is the power of marketing that most people don't talk to you about, because they want to attract everybody. We want everybody to be our customer. We're going to pretend that we're whatever they like in life so that they can like us. They're fake. The value is standing on your business, whatever that might be for you. And I don't mean necessarily your business. I mean standing on your 10 toes down, who you are, what you represent, what do you stand for. And you know what? At the same time, let's get rid of everybody who don't appreciate that shit. Let's repel. Because when we walk outside, we don't want to have to sift through 1,000 people to find one. If we can get everybody else to not show up that don't want to be here, then we go out and we have an audience who's 80%, 90% for the same shit that we're for. So you see me implementing these. I do this. I purposely make sure that if you don't like something about me, you can leave. Let me let you know what you might not like about me so you can leave now. Whereas these fake people want to hide it from you, and then that's why they're worried about getting exposed about shit that's like, so the fuck what? If you had the right people around you, you wouldn't be running around with your tail between your legs. For those who have tails. Right? So we've been implementing processes and improvements for a long time. That's why we're creatives and marketers. But we got to understand their psychology, their diseases, their disorders. So you can better help them, and you don't wind up judging yourself from being in the wrong circle of people. So assisting in developing product charters, right? You got to label the blueprint down, what you're going to do, where we're at, show them where you're going to help take them, and then we can measure shit. And ensuring the effective use of tools to close that gap. Okay? So as a green belt, that's going to bring you enhanced problem solving, improve process efficiency. It's going to have organizational impacts. It's going to have financial benefits. It's going to give you a competitive edge and add increased customer value. But they're too busy saying, I'm good, because they don't know any better. And instead of taking the time to have a conversation, they're too busy judging you because you're comfortable with yourself enough to have on a hoodie at a business meeting. I always looked at it as the low value people are the ones that are forced to do anything to maintain a position. And I learned that when I was at Discover Financial, because in 6 years, I might have went to work there a total of 2 weeks, like 14 days out of 6 years, wearing something that you could say was technically business casual. But I also had the highest sales scores in the building the whole time I was there. The highest month was 1,069% gold. Not 169%, 1,069% gold. That's why sales coaches don't want you to talk to me. I'm gonna tell you the truth. You're just moving people through emotional states. But it takes active listening. It's that simple. Get the book Power vs. Force and save yourself $3,000 a month. So, and if you need help interpreting that into real life applications, give me a call. We'll work something out. I'm not gonna charge you $3,000 a month, maybe 1,500, since that's what you're used to paying. So, the value of this, though, is going to be job creation and economic growth in our communities, increased competitiveness. Now we can compete with. I don't want you to compete with each other. Hold on, let me get big on the screen when I say this. I don't want you competing with each other. I want you to unify with each other, because what we need to compete against is the United States corporation. So that we can bring those dollars that you're complaining that the government gets from you and takes and does everything else. We need that to circulate in your business. And no, this is not Pasha's anti-government. This is Pasha's pro sustainable communities. So we need the dollars to circulate in the community. That means that you need to grow your business to be in position to receive them, instead of people being dependent upon the government for the same service that you provide. All right, now back to our regularly scheduled pictures. So, job creation, economic growth, increased competitiveness, innovation and entrepreneurship growth, improved quality of life, community development, social equity, and environmental sustainability all comes with working with people like me. And I just happen to be one of the best. All right. So when communities and businesses overlook the opportunity to work with their innovators, or overlook the potential of innovators, there's several negative outcomes. Delayed progress. That's why you hear me saying things like the same problems they were talking about is in your community 50, 70 years ago. You're still talking about today. Why? Because you're too busy telling us you're good. We don't need the creatives. We don't need the marketers. We're going to invest in a G-Wagon instead. And that's why the community is still having the same problems 80 years later. Because two, lost opportunities. By embracing the new ideas, the business, by not embracing the new ideas, your business missed out on significant improvement opportunities. And at the end of the day, all of that comes down to a massive power imbalance. Being reluctant to innovate can lead to a greater divide between those who do embrace change and those who don't, ultimately empowering larger entities or governments at the expense of people like you and me, the individual business owners, or your neighbor in the community just trying to feed their family and survive. All because you felt like your business was good and didn't need to grow. I'm Pasha Pavo, American brand evoker, critical solutions expert. Thank you for tuning.